okay. I'm about to have a good day. No matter what they say. Sun is shining.
We are back with another video in our card hunt series. That's just what I'm going to start calling it. Oops, I just messed up the recording. But we are there we go, fixed now. Today looks like we are in for some Pokemon. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 after this. It looks like. Oh, there's a half box. I'm gonna look to see what this half box is real quick. If it's Pokemon, we'll do it today. If not, it's gonna get added in. It's gonna get added in something else, or a MTG day. I think. Yep. The rest of these should be full. That one feels like 3/4. That's another half. Let's check this one. I'm just briefly looking just to see if it's Pokemon or Magic. Okay, it's Magic. So that will also, bam, go in. Maybe I'll do that for one video. Those two or something. We'll see. Anyway, all right, guys. This is what we got. Some Pokemon here. I'm gonna fan out a few cards just to give you a little quick sneak peek, and then we will jump back once I get. Oh man, there's so many. They're all flipped around and everything, guys. Sorry. All right. Just there's so many freaking code cards. Let's just grab a stack out of here so I can fan them out real quick. Everything's so it's so frustrating. Who does this with their cards, man? Who does it? So, Pharaoh Seed foil. All right. So yeah, unfortunately they're all just flipped around, so I can't do what I did in the last video, just giving you guys a quick overview. Maybe you'll see something exciting that I don't see. And stick around to watch the rest of the video. All right, we'll be back in just a second. All right, we are not actually done sorting, but coming back just a little bit beforehand because I forgot that I had been asked in a previous video some questions that I said I would elaborate on here. I responded in the comments, but I said I would also, just because there's kind of a lot to it. But the question was, how do you know when you buy one of these units that the owner doesn't just go through it and take all the slabs out, or all the valuable cards, and I said, well, a lot of times you don't necessarily have a 100% guarantee. It's entirely possible that happens. Now, if you do it for long enough, you learn which unit. Hurry up, Cal! It's bedtime, baby. You learn hey, every time I buy units at this place, I never get anything that looks or anything that's worth anything, and it's that's probably a good sign, that's like a hindsight one. But one of the things that you can do, just so you guys know, this is not scan, this is scan basic lands, and then I found a random Yu-Gi-Oh card. So if you're wondering what the stacks are, but another little sleeve. But if you there are a few things you learn to look for, right? So one of the most obvious is just looking for open boxes, right? If the unit is completely filled with open boxes, either the customer or the person that owns the unit went through it and got all the stuff out they wanted, okay, and then decided, I'm not going to pay anymore, for one reason or another. Maybe they knew they weren't going to be able to afford it after a certain point, and so they were just like, let me get all my stuff out, and then I'm just going to leave the rest of it, and they can deal with it, because that does happen. And if you want to know my credentials as to how I know this, why I know this, things like that. Okay, so I have worked for a major company in the United States for the last 10 years. And it's they do self-storage as well, among other things. But the major part of their business is self-storage, and they I managed a storage facility. I've managed two different facilities and two different parts of my career so far. and I got promoted, which is why I don't do that anymore. But during that time at a major facility, I can tell you, and this didn't come from one that I managed. I haven't managed a facility in quite some time to this point. So this didn't come from one of my facilities or a facility of a friend or anything. This came from a different company altogether. This unit, and like I said, it was my parents that bought it, not me. So, um, and they didn't. It's not like they bought it because they saw the cards, right? Like I do that occasionally. Like there's a unit in my area that I'm bidding on now, just because it seems like a lot of people haven't actually liked these videos, and I can clearly see a tote that has because and this is an online auction. I can, but in the pictures from the online auction, I can clearly see a tote that has binders of cards in it. So, sometimes it just depends on who sees that. Sometimes I can get those. I can get a unit like that for super cheap, and other times people see it and they're like, "Ooh, do we want to gamble on that?" And that's really kind of what it comes down to in terms of getting the unit. But the things you want to look for, like I said, I started with the open boxes, right? So at a major facility, like a major corporation, like the one I worked for, there are all kinds of procedures and policies that make it basically impossible, okay, for an employee to go through the unit before it goes to auction. Okay. There's like all kinds of stipulations. There's paperwork that gets filled out. There's pictures that are taken. And they look at the timestamps of the pictures to, because they want to make sure you didn't open the unit, go through it, and then take another picture, an hour later when you're done going through the unit. So they're looking at timestamps. There's all kinds of things, right? And then, but yeah, so open boxes if most of the boxes in there are like that, that's something that you just want to keep an eye out for. Another thing is, are the boxes like stacked? Are they opened and like stacked open on top of each other? Right. So like the flaps are up and they're just kind of disorganized and stacked stacked away that it looks like somebody opened it, looked through it real quick, and then started a new pile, and then grabbed the next box, went through it real quick, started and then stacked it on top of that and that one, and then moved on to the next box over and over and over. Like there's just little things you're looking for, right, that look different, and you just kind of learn to pick up on some of those things. Like you're like, and then the other thing is, just like the general quality of the room. Okay, like so imagine going to somebody's house that takes care of their house, right? That's every time you go there, super clean, super kept. Everything's got a yes, sure. Um, Everything's kept, well kept and clean. Everything's in its spot. There's that, and then you go to the friend's house that isn't like that, just to be nice, okay. And they, there's things all over the place, and all the cups are just tossed into the cabinet together, or not even together. There's some cups in this cabinet, some cups in another cabinet, things like that. Uh, it or like, so in terms of storage, though, when you're looking in the storage unit, is it like that, right? So is everything boxed up and labeled? Like does this box say kitchen? Does this box say whatever? Okay, so we're done. This is our non-scan stack. So as you can see, it's most of it. Okay. Oh shoot, I don't even know where my phone is. Until I go find my phone. But is the furniture wrapped? Does it have padding? And movers wrapped around it. Are there nice totes? Totes are like, because it's easy to get boxes, right? Boxes are cheap. They're quick. And this isn't like putting anybody down, okay? Like I'm not trying to put anybody down, but these are just kind of things you look for, right? So there's like tiers, okay? If the entire storage unit is in trash bags, you're like, okay, there's probably not anything worth a lot of value in this unit. If it's a mix of trash bags and boxes, yeah, you might get lucky. You know, um, it might be one if you see something very specific like a TV, or like a nice name brand TV, or like a computer, or just something like that you um, think you can make your money back on, or at least the majority of it, and then you have to get a little bit lucky on the rest of the unit that um, you don't know about. Um, that's one thing. But if it's all boxes, if everything is boxed up and clearly in boxes that are either like only used once or twice, or brand new boxes being used for the first time, and everything's labeled, it's all stacked nice and neatly into the unit, organized, is are the beds and the mattresses and mattress bags are, like I said before, is there furniture that has furniture pads on it wrapped with movers wrap to protect it from scratches and damage? Is it all in totes? That's like the third tier, right? If it's all totes, like totes are expensive. I don't know the last time you bought totes, but they are not cheap. Let me find my phone because kind of need that to scan. Give me 1 second. All right. But yeah, I mean, is it totes? Totes are expensive. So if somebody is spending their money to keep money like that to keep their things nice and neat, we're gonna start with the Yu-Gi-Oh card and then move on. 11 cents. Nothing crazy. Oh, you stupid! I gotta clear the list anyway. Clear list. We're gonna try to do it speed style, okay? Oh wait, that goes in personal for my sister. Oh gosh, a foil. Well, speed style is already over because these first couple are foils. Let's change that to reverse foil. 50 cents for the reverse foil Espeon. There you go. That is going to go in the keep or my sister's pile though. If she doesn't want it, then I'll sell it. Because I know she's got a lot of these already, so I just know there's different versions and stuff. Come on, Chansey. One chance. There we go. 18 cents for the Chansey. But yeah, like if it's all in totes, if it's in totes, a lot of times it's higher quality stuff, and it's more protected. Meaning, if it's been moved or damaged or whatever, or less likely that in the move it was damaged because it's got hard sides and everything. Come on, man, this does not want to scan tonight. $0.25 for the Charmander. Sorry guys, this isn't scanning very well, so it's like messing me up, throwing off my. I keep having to pause and like focus on the actual scan instead of just doing it really quick. 6 cents. Let me get to some non-foils, and then we'll be able to go. A lot of times that's the kind of thing you're looking for, though, right? Just overall quality of the room. Does it look neat and kept? These are just some basic, tricks that you learn pretty quick if you're doing this regular, and that's how we got started into it. It was just because we could. So the company that I work for um, does not allow employees to bid on the rooms at any of their locations. Um, for the obvious reason being that um, you could get into some kind of shady stuff. Like if you know this person moved into your unit and they were moving in some really nice stuff and you want it, you know, you can make you could just fudge their paperwork and make it so their unit goes to auction. Essentially, that doesn't really happen, right? First off, there are all kinds of, at least not at major locations, there are all kinds of safeguards. There are all kinds of things that happen. 24 cents for the Esparta, but it's in really rough condition. Um, like for the company I work for, we call them every single day, or email them or text them when they're late. Ooh, sweet. This Morpico is $1.32. Come on, focus, camera. We've been doing good. We've been on a, there it goes, hot streak. There it goes. Okay, that will go in the hits pile. Like we have to call them every single day to make sure, whether or call them or email them or text them. So this isn't the one. I'm gonna put that on this. We'll get that last. Man, all these are foil. But ooh, there we go. And there's another hit. Bibba, come on now, focus. Bibbarel. I didn't focus very well, sorry. But come on. 56 cents for this. Oh wait, that's hollow. It's not that one. I guess it's this one. Reverse hollow. 45 cents for the Sableye. Yeah, it just wants to focus like way down here. There you go. It's just staying there. So that's what we'll do. So all these things I have said really truly apply to major companies, right? So the major storage places like CubeSmart, I don't know, whatever ones you have in your area. The CubeSmart's big here. Extra Space. Here's another more Pico. It's a different design. Reverse hollow. Just 10 cents for that one. Yeah, these are almost all foil. Sorry, guys. Extra Space, CubeSmart. We have a couple Store Quests. We have. What else do we have? Morningstar. Like any of those major companies like that, they have the very similar standards, right, to the company I work for. I think you're fairly safe bidding at units there. Now, like I said, that's major companies. Now you want to start getting into some smaller, privately owned locations. Maybe they own a couple locations or something. Because most people, once they get one successful location, they buy another. It's just how it is in the storage business. And in fact, I mean that's what I would like to do at some point. Not for this reason, just because I cannot get anything to scan tonight, guys. Golly. Um, Nothing, just nothing wants to scan. I don't get it. But those locations, a lot of times you are, you know, they're not as under much scrutiny, right? If this is just a, you know, Joe Blow at 14 cents for that one. If it's just Joe Blow out in the country, right? And now most of the time you're going to get units a lot cheaper there too, though, because you don't have as much competition. But if it's Joe Blow in the middle of nowhere, you know, most likely, a lot of times they, I mean, they're not even probably doing all the procedures that you're supposed to auction a unit. And if they are, even if they are, like, if it, a lot of times they don't even sell out there because the people that are in this bit that do this stuff regularly don't want to travel all the way out to the, you know, the boondocks to get I just don't understand why nothing's scanning. My lighting is exactly the same. I just cannot get nothing to scan, man. It's really frustrating. There's no telling what they do, basically, is what I'm getting at, right? They have their own policies. They don't have anybody above them that's, you know, checking on them. As long as they do the actual auction process correctly, right? Which a lot of places, at least in this state, is. Let me try to take off this white background real quick. Okay. A lot of times, those places, you know, I mean, they can do what they want essentially. So you just kind of you got to like kind of learn that, right? And unfortunately, a lot of times there's no way to do that before actually getting involved. 13 cents for that. 45 cents for the Incineroar. I'll put that in the watch pile. There you go. You guys can actually, the camera's actually really solidly focused down here. Let me try to do this down here for you guys. And I don't have to move it. I don't know why. I didn't change anything on the camera. This is a deck exclusive rare, so 13 cents on that. 11 cents on that. Oops. I guess my background was just too bright, but I swear my lighting exactly the same. Choice belt reverse is 18 cents. Thunderous I don't think is worth anything. I must have missed that when I was sorting. 5 cents. I don't think I've seen this Wo-Chien, but I could be wrong. 11 cents. Yeah, now everything wants to scan. Gengar. It says deck exclusive. I wonder if there's a way to tell if that's really true. If it's because like it seems like a lot of them say deck exclusive, but I just don't know how you tell. It's reverse hollow foil. So this, I mean, that says that's 52 cents. So I'm gonna put it in the watch file or pile. Oh, let me just. Yeah, this one might not scan because it's pretty bright. Let me move it to the special scan spot. No, it's not a hollow rare. It's a reverse hollow. 27 cents for the Articuno. Anyway, like I hope that helped a little bit. I mean, there's just little things like that that you really want to look that you learn to look for that change, you know, your vibe on the room. And some of them are just so blatant and obvious. They don't even try to hide that they went through it first. You know what I mean? Um, this is a reverse hollow, 22 cents. And so it's like those. It's just like you just don't do. And you know, I don't know if you've ever watched. This is a promo. Okay, promo rare reverse. You don't know it's hollow foils, 29 cents. I'm gonna put that in the watch pile only because it's a promo, not because of the price. Excalibur is 5 cents. Okay, so sorry, I keep moving that. That really is one of the biggest things, honestly, is just learning to read the room. And by the room, I mean the storage unit. Because now, has there been rooms that you buy that give you no, any kind of bad vibes at all, and there's nothing, it's a complete bust? Of course it happens, it's going to happen. It's part of the business, right? It's part of the nature of what you're doing. Okay, a lot of times if there's thousands of that's thousands of dollars in value in there, the customer knows there's $1,000. The person that's united is knows there's thousands of dollars in value, and they find a way to make the payment. Because it's like, why would I let my room go to auction for $500-600 when I got $3,000 in there? This is a reverse. 23 cents. So yeah, I mean that's kind of where it's a little bit of a gamble, and then sometimes it's just people get locked up. That's a big one, man. A lot of times you find out later, that just from then that's from running a storage business. That's not like you wouldn't learn that. You would not learn that like being an auction storage unit auction buyer. But having run them before, I cannot tell you how many times, especially depending on where you live, right? If you live in a town that's not necessarily as on the up and up, that's a reverse foil. 38 cents for that gasoline. I'll put that in the watch. I don't mind putting a couple cards in the watch. That we haven't had too many hits here tonight, so or we haven't had anything more than $1.50. So, but yeah, I mean, I can't tell you how many phone calls I got at the one store that I ran that was in a little bit rougher of an area, lower income area, and they that's reverse foil. Okay, that is a foil, and 31 cents for the boss's regular non-foil, non-nothing boss's orders. Put that in the watch. Let's see if we can get this stack to scan now. My my yeah, so that's one thing that always happens is the amount of like phone calls I got just from people like, hey man, I'm just calling to check on my unit, I want to make the payment, um and you have to tell them, dude, it's been your unit got auctioned a year ago, man. Oh well, man, I was locked up, and it's like, dude, I'm sorry, man, there's nothing I could do. I mean, like, we can't get a hold of you, we can't get a hold of the people, the people on that you left as a secondary contact, or they tell us you got locked up, and there's what can I do? The bill's not getting paid, man. I feel bad, I mean, it's like kicking somebody when they're down. So that's all of our whiffs, I guess you could call them. And then these are just mostly cards to keep an eye on, right? Yeah, keep an eye on, keep an eye on, keep an eye on, keep an eye on. That was $1. That was like $1.30, I think. And then I think the rest of these, I guess I could look at the list just to be certain. Yeah, more PQ was $1.32, and then the Bibarel $1.05. Everything else was less than $1. Actually, it was 50 cents or less. Well, the Gengar is 52 cents. So, yep. But yeah, I mean, that, and then you get people that I mean, I've had some terrible ones that you just feel so bad for them. You know, like they were like in the hospital for months, and they were, you know, unable to make the phone call, and you know, or whatever the case is, you know, because a lot of times the company I work for will basically just let you come and get your stuff and move out for $1, even if you owe like over $1,000. They would just rather you come and get your stuff than us have to go through the auction process, because the auction process is a pain in the butt. It you have to jump through hoops basically. We always lose money on those. We don't make money on auctions. Most auctions, guys, I'm not joking you, most units are selling from between like $10 and $50, because a lot of times the auction units that are going to auction are people that can't pay their bill. And like I said, if they can't pay their bill, you know, a lot of times there's not money in the unit, or else they would you know, get that money, whatever it is that's valuable, and sell it, and pay their bill or whatever, you know. So a lot of times it's just not, you know, it's kind of like what I'm doing here, right? Like I'm not making a ton of money on this. We had one major hit. You know, we've had a ton of twos, threes, fours, fives, $6 cards, right? Tons of them. But like that's just little tiny pennies, right? That's not like, it's not like the show, man. The show 1000% planted stuff. 1000% they put stuff in those units, because there's no way you hit with that kind of consistency. Um, Most of the time you're trying to, you know, make profit. Any kind of profit is great. If you can take that money that you know, the $100 that you spent on that room, and make 120 or 150, like $200, and you know, then you just take that $100 you already spent on that unit, or $50 you already spent on that unit, because the ones that look nice, like I said, people, you know, I'm not the these aren't like crazy, you know, hidden secrets of the storage auction game. A lot of people know these things, okay? The ones that have been doing it for a while, especially, and they will tell, you know, I mean, they're going to bid on the same units that you want, so those units end up going higher, 100, 200, $300. But those are the exception, not the rule, I promise. So, like I said, a lot of times it's just learning, and sometimes you get lucky, man. Sometimes people just don't show up to if it's an in-person auction, they don't show up to the auction. If it's an online auction, sometimes they just miss it. There are some storage facilities that do 24-hour auctions. So if you're not checking every single day, then you miss it, right? It's just like there's little like things like that that you're trying to do consistently, to just make sure that you are, if you want to try to do it as like a full-time thing, or like a, you know, a really successful side hustle, that's kind of the things you're looking for. So anyway, let me know if there's any more questions down below. I'll try to answer them, and I mean, I will answer them in the next video. I'll acknowledge them. I really do appreciate all the comments, the likes, the subs that I've been getting from this. The channel has just exploded over the last week. It's been awesome. I'm super, super happy. I never thought there'd be other people watching my videos. I started this channel for my kids to watch it. So um, yeah. Anyway, if you are interested in this stuff, I am going to be uploading here in a minute. Right when I get off this, I'm doing another one of these videos because I need to get a video or two ahead. My daughter's first birthday is tomorrow, so she's my youngest. So I'll be busy doing that tomorrow. So I want to have videos recorded all day for tomorrow, and then I want to have one of these storage or card hunt videos up for tonight as well. So I want to have two of those, and I'll probably get a third one, so I'm ahead. And then, but anyway, I'm also going to be doing a Duskmorn House of Horrors. That's the new set that just came out from MTG. I just got my play booster and collector pack in, so I'll be doing a video on that. And then I also have my booster crate coming in. Shipping said by yesterday, and then it said delayed, so then it said it was going to be here today, and now it's saying tomorrow. So I'm hoping it'll be here tomorrow. If it is, that that video will come out as soon as I get it, because I just love ripping packs open. It's kind of like the same if you want to call it this. I don't really want to call that, but the same rush you get from doing this that I get from doing this video, hunting through these cards. You know, it's just exciting, and I enjoy the organization part of it. It's just stuff like that. So anyway, like I said, leave any questions down below. I'd be happy to answer them in the next video. I'll acknowledge them and maybe give a short, brief response if it's something quick and easy. Otherwise, I'll talk about it in the video. Anyway, thanks guys for hanging out. I appreciate it. You spent some of your precious time on this planet here with me today. I hope you enjoyed it. We're down to 6 boxes of this first batch. I don't know when I'll be getting the other set from my parents. It might be tomorrow. It might not be. I don't know. So probably 6 more videos. Well, we'll see you again in the next one, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Peace.